I think we can all agree that in the world of perception today, the world of marketing today, video is king. Okay? And the world is changing so rapidly. You know, as the introduction said, I'm honored and privileged to be the co-owner, co-founder of a TV network called Rad TV. Quite honestly, 5-10 years ago, that wouldn't be possible because I don't have hundreds of millions of dollars behind me. But today, with the knowledge and the connections, the understanding of the industry, it is possible. So what does that mean to you here today? First of all, a new TV network that is national is headquartered right here in San Diego. Our studios are up in Vista, not far from here. It's a 24/7 news. It's a 24/7 network covering all genres: cooking, fashion, fitness, business, real estate, or my background, politics, news, and money. What we do is we provide distribution for content providers. I'm not out there paying Bill O'Reilly $10 million to host a show. However, if Bill O'Reilly creates a show and he wants distribution, I can provide that for him, which is what I can do for you that are in this room. If video is king and you're looking for ways to separate yourself in the marketplace, ways to display your expertise, your charisma, your personality, brand your name, your image, brand your business, what better way than a credible professional atmosphere of professional TV, of national TV? But Rick, I've never done television. I don't want to do an infomercial. I don't want to look like an amateur on TV who's buying their time. Guess what? We don't want you to look like an infomercial. We don't want amateurs. We don't want people buying their time. One of the great things about having a background that I've had, I got into TV not knowing what I was doing. Okay, you got to tie this all together. Out of the blue, 5 years ago, I was on the radio for several years here in San Diego. Out of the blue, a very successful man out of Rancho Santa Fe called me up unexpectedly. I didn't know who he was. I thought he was nuts. He said, I'm launching a national TV network called One America News. I want you to host a primetime show for me. I thought the guy was crazy. I thought the next sentence was, all you have to do is raise $10 million. But he was serious, and he's a good man. He's a great businessman, and I went into a TV career that I knew nothing about, but it gave me the experience of how to coach others who have no experience. My point being, if you have no background in media, we've assembled a team. Sutton Porter's one of them, right? Sutton, stand up. Sutton Porter is my producer. She produced the Dr. Phil TV show. She's very, very, very well connected on the inside of the Laura Ingraham show. She's a producer at Rad TV. She does many other things. Sutton, myself, and a team of others were very good and very serious about coaching people to become professional media pundits, whether it be on television or radio. So, if video is king, and you think there's value in having your own television show, if you think there's value, even though you may be located locally, being able to tell people that you're in 30 million homes across America, if you think there's value in reaching out to potential prospects and inviting them as a guest on your television show, we have a very, very cost-effective way of doing that for you and coaching you professionally. In a year's time, you'll be your knowledge is the same level as anyone you see on TV. That being said, maybe you don't want your own show, but you'd like to be a part of one. Marie Waite, who organized this event, is launching a real estate show on Rad TV. You have an opportunity to be a part of that show in what's called embedded sponsorship. What's embedded sponsorship? It's the can of Coke in a movie, okay? It is the trend in television. Steve Forbes, someone who's a friend of mine who I interview frequently, Steve Forbes has a show on Fox News, on Fox News and Fox Business on Saturday mornings. Steve Forbes is an embedded sponsor. It's called Forbes on Business. If you want to be a pundit on Marie Waite's real estate show, talk to me sometime today. We can show you how to be a part of that show, how to be branded as an expert in real estate. You're so much of an expert that you're in demand and appearing on national television. It's pretty much all I had to say today. I don't want to take up too much time. Any questions? Two ways, or a couple ways. One, what was the question? Oh, great question right there. How do we find out more about what I just said? I don't know. No, just kidding. The best way is to give your card to me, Sutton, or Marie. Okay? And I'm going to be here most of the day. And the reason I'm here most of the day is that for those who are interested, I'm here to have private conversations off the side of the room to answer your questions. You know, this may sound surprising. What's your name? I'm sorry? Michelle. This may sound surprising, Michelle, but it's not complicated. It's one of those things, you don't know what you don't know until you know. I didn't know anything about television until this guy, he took me to lunch at Bocce's off of Moreno Boulevard. And I said, now you want to do what? Because I want to offer you a primetime television show in 15 million homes. And I want to pay you $200,000 to do it. And I sat there thinking, this guy I found out he was serious. He showed me his contracts. And I thought, he's going to take all the risk for me to learn a new skill, learn a new industry, and brand myself across America. And if he makes it big, I'm going to make 7 figures because I'm the first guy he's hiring. If he doesn't make it big, well, I've just learned a new skill, learned a new business, and branded myself across America, which is how we ended up launching Rad TV and coaching people how to be media pundits. So the good news, it's not that complicated, but it's a process of learning, and we know how to get you there. Any other questions? Oh, that's a great question. And your name, the question is, there's a way we get paid. Your name? Patrick Hunter. Patrick Hunter. No, just kidding. Yes. Couple ways. I can show you how to sell advertising within the show. The cost to be on is very, very minimal. Okay? Very minimal. And I can show you how to sell advertising to cover that cost. And then guess what? We've only been on the air a couple weeks. After about 6 months or so, Rad TV is going to charge subscription. You've got to pay $3.99 a month or $4.99 a month, whatever it is. And then you will share in that revenue. You'll share in that revenue based upon ratings. Be prorated. How you know, I mentioned branding. The neat thing about media is people want to get to know you, and that opens up business opportunities. How do I know Steve Forbes? One American News sent me back to a television conference in Washington, D.C. It was just before they launched. Cable TV had an industry conference. I'm at the Washington, D.C. Convention Center at a booth, shaking hands, smiling, telling people about us. Comes time to go back to San Diego. I'm walking through the train station. My show is about to launch in a week or two. And I see Steve Forbes. He doesn't know me from the Man on the Moon, but I knew him. He's coming this way fast. I'm going that way fast. I just yelled out, "Hey, Steve Forbes." He turns around. My name is Rick Amato. I have a new TV show on the new One American News Network. Have you ever heard of us? No. Love to have you as a guest, or are you tied in exclusively to Fox News? And he yells back, "I can go on any station, any show, any time. Contact this guy." Got back to my office. I told Sutton Porter the story. She goes, great. When's he coming on? How do we reach him? I don't know. That's your job. She got him on a week later. Wouldn't have happened if I wasn't in the media. It opens up business opportunities. Any other questions? Your name? Mark.
So we decided to come on board with you. Can you give us a visual of what that looks like? We walk into the studio. I'm sure we just don't start filming or interviewing. Can you give us a visual of what the process is?
Question I have. As your own show or as a featured guest on a real estate show?
Probably featured guest.
Okay, featured guest. So, we've got a professional studio. And Mark, during the break, pull me aside, I'll show you some video. So we have a professional studio. Let's say, actually Maria's asked me to host her show, but let's say Marie's hosting her show, just theoretically. Think of a talk show on CNBC or Fox Business News, focused on real estate, okay? With a customized set designed with Marie's vision in mind. A camera crew like we have here, lights, etc. And then the show would be a 30-minute weekly show, and she would have various guests within that show, covering different topics. So ahead of time, she creates the show production schedule. Segment 1, she's going to open with a monologue. I'm just making this up right now. Segment 2, she's going to interview Mark Roach on why California is different than the rest of the nation when it comes to real estate. I don't know, I made that up. Segment 3 is something else, segment 4. And it's a matter of coming in the studio, sitting in the green room until your time, getting some makeup on. You've prepared in advance because you know the questions, you know the topic. If you need some coaching for media, our staff is there to help you in advance, not the day of. We're there the day of, but we're not like saying, okay, you're going on 3 minutes. So you've been prepped. And now we walk you out to the studio. You sit down, think of a talk show. CNBC, Fox Business News. The host introduces you, question, you have a conversation like you and I are having right now. Segment's over, go to a commercial break, next guest.